since you said that the end of the world is ahead. While I'm on the verge of this cliff,
so we just completed our 5th ceremony, and I've been tuning into just how things like the passage of time and space kind of get disoriented. And so, 5 ceremonies in, I'm thinking back to when I first laid intentions of just love and support, and I feel like those intentions have shifted over this space and time, where I am realizing that there's just like such a bigger picture to remember. Certainly, things like love and joy are forever wonderful intentions, and I think looking at things that have come up in these ceremonies have certainly been like, we met this 1,500-year-old tree that that grew near a temple, probably of the same age, and there had been a river there, La Leche, that flowed nearby, and in the past year or so, or even the last 6 months, it's been rerouted by humans for agricultural purposes. And so this ancient river that was likely the foundation or purpose of the temple being there is no longer flowing near that area, and just what that does to an environment, what that does to a space, and how that there's a turning that's happening. We were up at a glacier lake yesterday, and the glacier has melted, and in our lifetime. And so, when thinking about like a lake that's fed by a glacier, and the glacier is no longer, what will it look like in 50 years, 100 years, 200 years? Been contemplating what my own journey on this earth has been in this lifetime, in this vessel, and just what it is to exist for this period of time and let go, and just how special it is to just be in nature and in balance with the elements, and then just acknowledging how hard it is in my day-to-day life to be in balance and fully in balance. So contemplating all those things, but those may sound negative, and yet I think backing out, just really finding ways to enjoy and appreciate just the levity that can be found when it doesn't have to consume. The challenges we face are simple, and it's okay to be in those challenge spaces, and at the end of the day, we go back into the earth, and so to enjoy and appreciate what we have right now is really important. And so, and to grieve, the losses and the ever-changing wheel of time. Those are my thoughts.
All right, so yesterday was ceremony number 5. We went way up high altitude to this beautiful lake, and my experience was very profound again. It seems like the medicine is just, every time I do a ceremony, it just seems like I keep saying that this was the most profound, and it seems to be a escalating experience, and the medicine just keeps on working deeper into the layers, dissolving construct. My friend Ryan said it really well. He said he feels like there's nothing left except for emotion, and I thought that was a really good way of explaining it. It's like it tears apart all the constructs until all you can be is feeling the present moment emotions and the gravity of this earth and being alive and existence, and everything comes to life and you can feel everything, and I would say that's kind of how it is. And I guess I'll speak to 2 really important experiences that came up for me. One was kind of a download. It was like a meditation download, but with all that delayering of construct and being able to really feel, something that's been coming up for me is like a subject-object relationship, and how in many ways that's how our world works, is we have subject-object relationships in order to have these dynamic experiences. But when you remove the subject-object relationship, it seems like you can really merge with the world around you and experience yourself as these different parts of the world, right? So in this case, I had this experience where I was in the meditation, and I would open up my chest, breathe in, and basically the light, like the sun, was just booming on this day. And in the meditation, I was able to really feel the radiance of the sun, and without the construct, I was able to really experience myself as the sun, and to say affirmations kind of lightly in my mind, perhaps a little bit, of almost like I am the creation, I am the sun, the life-giving sun, and really feel like it was true, and almost just know that it's true. I think I felt like it. I am that, and I was going and doing the opposite. In the meditation, I'd breathe out and I would cover my eyes, and then I would experience myself as the void, not as like a subject-object kind of thing, like feeling the void, but being the void itself. And that was that opens my eyes to what is possible if you practice, right? Obviously, in this case, I had the Huachuma guiding me and opening up my energy body and dulling down and almost eradicating thought constructs. So that's a lot of assistance, but it shows me what's possible if you are practicing your relationship with the world and expanding your relationship through dissolution of your barriers that you have in your mind. And Lish said something to me which I thought was really interesting, that she felt like she had a similar experience of feeling like she was the earth, like she was an embodiment of the earth. And I didn't have that experience, but this last ceremony really kind of dialed in that I seem to have a really strong relationship with light. Even in the breathwork practices I like to breathe light into my body through the prana, and that seems to be how it works. It's just everything's made out of light, and so to develop your understanding of light and identify it fully with it as the essence of who you are is really what I seem to gravitate towards naturally. And I think my path that's going to be a big part of my path, is experiencing the world as a light carrier, a light being. And I think the practices that I need to engage in as I continue to mature into my spiritual path will be more, how do I have those same types of experience relating to the earth or to nature and trees, and experiencing nature as the essence of who I am, not conceptually, but actually fully experiencing my life in that way. And that, I think, is the practice. So that is a really important experience for me, and I've been feeling it all day now, and it just feels very peaceful. And when you're in relationship with the sun and the light in that way, it's very timeless, and I feel like the fear of death and the eternality of light, it really opens up your time horizon, so the fear of death kind of melts away, because in that type of relationship, you really are eternal. You're an eternal being. The body may not be, but your essence and who you are in that sense, on that level of consciousness, is that way. And what I think I want in my life is to have the ability to navigate all the spectrums, so not deny myself as a human being and only identify as an enlightened being or a light being, or I think that's probably where enlightenment comes from, but also be able to fully own and be own your experience as with subject-object relationship, which is how most of us navigate the world, and being able to experience yourself on all these planes, I think really creates choice in life. It's more of like a tantric approach. So that it really opened up my horizon about what's possible for how I experience myself. And the other lesson, which came at the very end of the ceremony, is I have my mesa, which I've been carrying around for a year and a half now, since I did the shamanic, the medicine wheel through the Shamanic Yoga Institute, where you build your mesa, which is essentially a bundle of your intentions, and you carry it around to all, especially for important occasions and things like pilgrimage and all ceremonies. And it's really a bundle of your energy and intentions that have been cultivated over time and directed towards the stones of your mesa and any other spiritual objects that you want to carry. And at the end of the ceremony, I was packing up my bag, and I was really, really into medicine, and I was like, where's my mesa? And I couldn't find it, and I looked around, and I started to panic a little bit, and fear kind of came over me, and I was like, okay, and shit, I'm like, this is bad. And then I started to walk around, and as I was starting to breathe into the fear and just being the process of letting go began. And as I started that process of just accepting that I might have lost my mesa, simultaneously the teaching came in, which was, you don't have to fear anything. The mesa is actually stored in your heart. And as soon as I realized that, it became clear that you can build a new mesa and re-energize another material bundle of stones with your intentions and everything. That's just a physical representation of your intent for your life and your prayer for your life. And just that realization that my prayer for my life is in my heart. It's stored in my heart. And there's nothing to worry about. And at the very, at least it's an incredibly beautiful offering for the land to leave your mesa somewhere for someone to find. And and then I was like, okay, well, if I find it, it'll be meant to be, and if I don't find it, then I know that I carry my prayer with me and my intentions with me. And then my friend Chicha, I go back, I tell the group that the experience that I just had and the teaching that I just received, and then Chicha is like, oh, I think I know who your mesa is, and she guides me back 100 feet away to where she saw it under a tree, and I got my mesa back. And that was a really cool experience. I'm like, oh, I get the teaching and I get the mesa back. How wonderful. And then I actually considered just leaving the mesa, so I actually felt into the land, and I was like, maybe I should offer my mesa to the land as like to really refine the teaching. And the message back was that you found your mesa for a reason, and you can do more good by continuing to carry the mesa. You know, feeling to my intention for ceremony number 6. I feel like my intention is to I think just discipline is actually what's coming up for me. Deeper levels of discipline and alignment in my life in order to live the teachings that I keep receiving. And you know, I think that's the hard part sometimes when we go back into reality, or into reality, but into our society and our, you know, wherever we're from, and there's expectations, all these other things. It can be easy to be pulled back into old programs, and I think it's discipline that might tie it together, or I think devotion might be the better word, to step deeper into my devotion to my spiritual path.
Oh, Great Spirit, thank you for watching over us. Yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne yo hey. Oh, Grandfather, thank you for watching over us. Yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne yo hey. Oh, Grandmother, thank you for watching over us. Yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne yo hey. Oh, Great Spirit, thank you for watching over us. Yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne, yana hey ne, yana hey yo no, yana hey ne yo hey.